Chapter 19. The Old One Yields. Rick banked the Skywagon over the fleet. Scotty, in the front passenger seat, had the camera ready. Hartson Brant, in the rear seat, had a motion picture camera poised. Governor Montoya, the fourth in the party, even had his personal camera along. Their cameras were not the only ones. Nearly every ship had its official photographers, and there were photography planes in the air. Directly under the Skywagon now was a U.S. destroyer. Aboard her was the nuclear firing party from Los Alamos Scientific Laboratory and the UN Observer Group. On other ships of the fleet were representatives of the interested nations and the Seabees. Rick turned up the volume of his plane radio. By agreement, the countdown was to be broadcast to all aircraft over one of the airport frequencies. 30 seconds, the voice said. Won't we need dark glasses? Scotty asked. No, Hartson Brant replied. The nuclear fireball won't emerge. If it gets a little too bright, squint and turn your head. How long after the nuclear shot will the volcano go? Rick asked. That we don't know. Anywhere from seconds to hours. It depends on how much of a path the nuclear shot cracks. 10 seconds. Rick made sure they had a good view of El Viejo's western slope and held the plane on course. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There was an instant of quiet, then dust spurted from the deep hole, followed by billowing clouds of pulverized rock. Down below, the earth heaved as though from another earthquake, and a line of waves appeared, running from shore outward. The dust settled slowly, hanging in the air like a great gray ball. The nuclear explosion, deep underground, had gone off. Now what? Rick wondered. Hartson Brant said quietly, We may have to wait a while. That explosion sure didn't look like the pictures I've seen of the shots in Nevada, Rick told him. No, Rick, this was too far underground. They've had those in Nevada too, but the pictures don't get much publicity because they're not spectacular. Far below, where the end of the big hole had been, the huge chamber blown by the atomic explosion was white-hot with trapped heat and radioactivity. Below the chamber, the earth was shattered with myriad tiny cracks reaching far down. Some cracks reached the white-hot magma. Instantly, the magma exploited the new weakness. Pressure was released until... Look! Even in the plane, Scotty's yell was loud. Rick turned in time to see the side of El Viejo blow off in an explosion that made 10 kilotons of fission seem puny. From an instant he saw thousands of tons of white-hot lava rise into the air, then it fell into the sea. Instantly, steam blanketed the area, but the steam was mixed with traces of red and gray from the rocks carried upward. A great boulder weighing many tons was hurled high into the air to fall into the steam cloud. The great rift in the volcano widened, and the molten lava was visible until steam rose again. Under the steam cloud was an inferno, but it was only occasionally visible as the wind tore rents in the vapor. The noise must be deafening, Rick knew, but only a low rumble and an occasional hissing could be heard from up in the plain. Well, Hartson Brant said wearily, that worked. Governor Luis Montoya spoke gently. Yes, my friend, it did indeed work, and it has saved our island. I doubt that a single life was lost thanks to you and your associates. Oh, we better be sure, the scientist smiled. Rick, suppose you fly us around the island. Yes, sir. Rick instantly swung the Skywagon onto a northward course that would take them past the erupting volcano and on to the north. He kept well out to sea, because now and then he could see large rocks flying through the air as the volcano spouted. Only the immediate area was affected. The new outlet was about half a mile wide, stretching from sea level and possibly below to about a quarter-mile up the slope. Beyond the crater, San Luis seemed normal, although Rick knew there were no human beings in the area. Not until he passed Redondo did signs of life appear, and then the beach became black with people. The wave of humanity extended inward to the slopes of El Viejo and along the beach to Calor. Past Calor, at the airport, troops not needed on the perimeter waited for their planes. Already there were planes landing. Rick completed the circuit of the island, then on impulse moved past the volcano and took a good look at where the diamond pipe had been. A momentary wind blew the area clear, long enough for him to glimpse nothing but white-hot lava. "Well," he remarked, "there go Connell's diamonds, either buried or burned." "Cheer up," Scotty said with a grin. "Maybe El Viejo is making some new ones." Governor Montoya added the final word. "I hope not. But if so, I can only hope they will not be discovered just before the next eruption."